Hello, everyone, and welcome to another horrific review. Dale and I are back as we continue our look into the What We Do in the Shadows TV show with Baron's Night Out, The Trial, and Citizenship. We look into the nightly lives of four vampires who have lived together on Staten Island for over a century. Dale, welcome back as we carry on with this.
I love it.
Another,
Yes. This little
definitely
golden gem.
another few fun episodes.
Yeah, absolutely, eh? Yeah, these ones were good.
I knew it was building up to something. I just, like I said, it's been a while since I've seen these. And I knew the whole thing with the Baron was building up. I just couldn't remember exactly what.
Yep.
But yeah, so we'll start off Baron's Night Out. What can you say? It's just one of those random episodes or just random days in their lives. Like
Yep. Day in the life of a vampire.
an inept vampire, I think would be the
Yeah, I know. Oh, shocking.
Do you think that's what makes these guys so appealing? Is the fact that they're not your typical, like if this was the underworld vampires or something, everyone just sitting around going, that sort of thing. It would be boring. You wouldn't last an episode or two.
No, absolutely. Yeah. They're doing really well. Yeah. And yeah, they're building up to something, I can tell. Yeah, no, great. I do really appreciate the way that in this one compared to Wellington Paranormal, the episodes continue on, so there's no individual episodes, say like Wellington Paranormal.
Yeah, there's an overarching story arc, so it's not just episodal.
Yes, it's quite different because Taka and Jermaine did both of them relatively at the same time, wasn't it? It's around the same time frame. Yeah. So yeah, no, I thought that's really cool how they've done it different. I'm glad they haven't stuck to a generic sort of trope and they've changed it up. So these vampires are so super cool. Seriously. Even I love Colin.
He is.
Cool.
He is my spirit animal.
Yeah. Must be something in the name, eh?
Yeah. It's just the fact that he knows his clothes, etc., are a costume.
Yes.
His persona is a costume, and he's actually a real evil git.
Yeah, he is. He is the crazy nerd.
I would say he's the most vicious out of a lot of them.
I would say too, because he's a day walker. He's an energy vampire. He can really, really do some serious harm to humans, and he's
vampires.
He's very innocuous. He's just like an everyday middle class working man.
But once again, that's a costume he puts on. It's not him, because we've seen all the three of us here when he revels. He really does. Like he sticks it to him, and he actually makes fun of the other ones, and yet they hate him because they feel like they're drained, but he is draining them. He's not, it's all part of the act.
Yeah. Oh, and absolutely.
There's a lot of I probably butchered out trying to describe it, but there's a real dynamic relationship between Colin and the other vampires, and he knows it and he enjoys it because he's causing them misery.
He loves the drama, doesn't he? He just eats it up. Yeah, that very nasty smile that comes on his face. It's brilliant.
But basically we're back to the Baron again. He's been living in the attic the whole time.
Yeah.
And they're all like, when's he going? What's that? They feel their style's been cramped. And because he's pushed them to take over like the human race. And Nadia was the best one. She's like, yeah, why would you do that? And she has exactly the same attitude as me. Why on earth would you want to rule the world?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, no way. There's no way. No.
That'd be terrible. I do it when I have to, but I hate being in charge.
Yeah.
Because everyone automatically turns and goes, me, problems. And the never, people aren't self-solvers. Most people they just want to be led by the nose, and I can't be bothered
Yes.
with that. I like self-starters. I like interacting with people who are go-getters.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I find someone that just wants to be led by the nose really exhausting to deal with.
Oh,
That makes
God.
sense.
It does. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
So somebody that actually wants to rule the world and control other people's lives, I don't get that. It's mental.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's a very narcissistic viewpoint. You know, if you want to rule the world, you're probably crazy.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing. People throw narcissism about the term as a slur now, but it is an
Yeah,
actual mental condition. It's a pathological mental condition. It's
it's a
dangerous.
Yes, yes, pathological psychology. You know, all that sort of stuff. The psychopathy of narcissism, and lots of us have traits of it. You know, so it's actually quite cool to see it come out in
You
this
need a
film.
bit of it to do this sort of stuff as well. You need a little bit of it. You know, it's about everything in balance and recognizing yourself. I think you do need a little bit of narcissism to push forward because, especially in this sphere, people are going to come
Yeah.
at you just because you exist, and you kind of have
Mm,
to develop a thick skin and in self
yeah.
belief, you know. But it's not a personality disorder if you're in charge of it.
Yeah.
It's
If you're
when
aware of it and you know what you're doing, and you're that, you know, people get narcissism mixed up with assertiveness,
Mhm.
you know, or being selfish, sort of, because you're looking after yourself and that sort of thing. I think if narcissistic personalities, you know, if you're hurting people, then that's when it comes psychopathy. But you know, if you're doing it to get something done, there's nothing wrong with it. Like you said, if you can manage it.
Yeah. But the Baron sort of represents this, you know, I want to rule the world because I should. And it's like I said, any rational minded person, like, that's a lot of hassle. Stuff that, you know, if everything's
Yeah.
working, leave it alone and make the best out of your own life. But
Yeah.
that's just, and I think our friends in the house have reached that point like years ago.
Yeah.
They originally arrived, yeah, we're going to rule. And then they realized, nah, that's what,
Yeah.
why do it?
Too much hard work.
Yeah.
It's too much hard work for them.
For no reward.
No, exactly. Because they can just have any human they want, you know, when they get hungry. So why rule the world? That's too much work.
Yeah. And
They're quite happy living in their little Staten Island house.
with their 1.5 streets, you know, that they don't even
Yeah.
dominate the sort of, you know, they dominate the streets, but it's only they pass by and they only do it when they have to. They basically, nobody bothers with them, they don't bother with them. And
No.
to me, that sounds like a cool wee life. And why on earth would
Yeah.
you want to rock that boat?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So interesting, hey?
So this is all playing out, you know, the fact that the Baron's arrived and's been there and he's getting more pushy, and it's they're using the underworld. That's why I keep mentioning underworld, because
Yes.
I could see the influence to that film series.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
he's all the shrunken in vampire and he's trying to, you know, regenerate again, and
Yep. Yeah.
they've used that. Didn't Blade Trinity as well, the Drake character that kind of had him, you know, the dissected vampire that needs to regenerate.
Yes. Yes, that's right.
But the way they play it out, like, they make him a joke, and it's funny.
Awesome, eh? Yeah.
The special effects in this in the beginning before they even leave are brilliant. Like when he's just throwing them about the place, and
Oh God, yeah. Yeah. Throwing Naja. Oh no, what was it? Laszlo up
that's
against
all.
the.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
they're so well
Throwing
done.
everyone around. Yeah, I know, right?
There's
Yeah.
movies done today at hundreds of millions of dollars where you can visually see the green screen. You know what it is.
Yep.
You can see the wire.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You can see the harness, because once you see the behind the scenes, you know it's imprinted in your mind. You know the harness is there. You know what they're doing. You've no suspension of disbelief with modern
Yep.
movies, and yet
Absolutely.
this is a dopey TV show, like 20-minute episodes, 25-minute episodes. And the special effects when they employ them are absolutely fantastic.
They are. They're masterful, aren't they? And they're so, I don't know, just so realistic. No, you don't see the green screen, or you don't. I don't know how they do it, but they do it so well.
That's the magic, though. That's what we're missing in movies. They're doing this. In fact, they're putting people to shame with their little TV show. They're basically going, look at what we're doing, and it's seamless. And you're sort of squinting your eyes, going, "How'd they pull that off? That's brilliant.
Yes.
Where's the CGI, or where's the wire work, or what have they done?" And the fact that you're wondering, like a good magician, you wonder how to do the trick. That's part of the show.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And they do the flying scene so well. Just, I don't know, just brilliant. Yeah.
There's Chris on. Hey, buddy. Good to see you.
Hi, Chris.
It's a proper stream now. We've got Chris on board.
Yep.
It's always a proper stream with Chris.
Now. The crew's all together now.
So the Baron decides he wants to go for a night out and see his domain, because...
Oh, yeah. Oh, dear.
Yeah, he wants to party like it's 1899.
Yeah.
The whole... Even the scene in the hallway before he comes down, he's all up, he's not really dressed that dissimilar to the rest of the vampires.
Yeah.
When you think about it.
Well, they're quite the same, aren't they? Kind of,
He's just a bit more flamboyant, in the color scheme.
He's definitely more flamboyant. Yep.
And yet,
but they've got that gothic Victorian sort of, era kind of dress, and they get away with it. I don't know how they get away with, but I guess they look like gothics. know. So.
And the whole thing about two ruffles. No, I don't do two ruffles. That's. And you would think you would just take one of the ruffles off. That would be the solution, but no. Colin appears.
Yep. Oh my God! Got some human clothes for him.
It's like Colin knows he doesn't want them there, but then that's part. Once again, there's a whole game being played here because he knows fine rightly.
Yeah, right.
The effect he has on them, and he plays up to it.
Yep, he does.
Like Colin could quite easily switch clothes and act like an. You know it's there. You know he's self-aware of what he does.
Yeah.
That's why I did that whole spiel at the start. There's a game being played here, and he's in on it.
He is definitely. Yep. It's like because I've wondered where he came from, why he's with them, all that sort of backstory which we haven't got yet. So I don't know if we're going to find out why he's there in the first place, because he's not the same as the rest of them. No. He's definitely different, but yeah.
And it's funny the way they've reversed the roles as well. He's the one that's tucked away in the basement. He's the one they avoid. Yeah. You know what I mean? We're the normal vampires, and they're the ones, being more open, and he's the one that they're like terrified of. And he knows it, and he revels in appearing. He knows they're going out. He knows they don't want them to go, and he's almost reveling, as in poking at them, going, I could turn up too, as if, wah.
Yeah, I know. Oh, God. Him turning up out of nowhere from, bang, there he is. Oh, God, there's Colin, yep.
And then, oh, dear, they're the camera crew. I love the way they actually involve the camera crew now.
Yes, I do too. I felt very happy about that. That was well done. Yeah, because we'd been talking about that last time with Wellington Paranormal, how they like to involve their camera crew and, not so much with... But so they might have done some reflecting or whatever, but they've, it's good to see that they use the camera crew. Oh, my God. That was brilliant.
I think it's acknowledging them and making them part of the story. That works because when they were... Like some of the early ones, when they're starting and they're pretend the camera crew's not there or just for the interview part, and you're sort of scratching your head going, why wouldn't the camera crew there? Why aren't they in danger? like with the werewolves and stuff. And then obviously the Baron decides to eat the sound recordist.
I know, that was hilarious. And then the sound went all crackly and very authentic.
Oh, I've been having problems with this. The settings on the platform I stream from have been messing up over the last couple of weeks, and it's been driving me. I wasn't ready to quit because I'm getting that wound up about it because I couldn't fix it, and the sound was really awful. So that just hearing the bad sound and that being done deliberately, it's amazing how important sound is when you're doing any sort of presentation, I guess.
Yeah.
And if you sound bad, it's it's terrible. You can get away with a shaky camera, you can get away with a bit of dodgy lighting, but if you sound bad, oh my god, it's terrible. And it really, and if you know something you're not that should be fixable and you can't, you're just like, oh, and I actually felt it during this episode.
Yeah.
So like, oh, I don't know. That's the poor producer's going to be going crazy, for this bit.
There's a very important person you just murdered.
You would. The sound is really is the sound recorders really is important. You look at anything with bad dubbing or bad ADR. Like as a lot of indie films make a problem. They don't use good ADR, and when they're recording outside, you get that.
Yes. Yep. Or they forget to wear lapel mics so that you can actually hear them properly. Yeah. So you're right. It is very important.
It's actually more important than the visuals. You can forgive a lot with the visuals, but if you get bad sound, it's you're taken out of it.
You can't hear anything. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I could sit here with my camera off quite, and you'd still be able to hear me quite well. But if it was crappy, dodgy sounds before I got my microphone, it was pretty bad, wasn't it? So yeah, it's very important. So poor guy, jeepers, Baron.
I don't know if they're so blasé about it. Sorry about your sound recorders and talk to them. And then you start to wonder how many camera crews that they went through to do these series, in the universe.
Yeah, true. Yes, yeah. I'm still wondering why the hell the camera crew are there, but I don't care.
Sorry, Chris is asking, The Office popularized the mockumentary style that many shows now use, but few ever explain why the characters are being followed by a documentary crew. Does this one?
Exactly.
They do, because it was an original. The original film.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't go into what the show was, but just the fact that they're being interviewed. They do it with us, but I don't know if I never watched The Office.
No, neither.
But I don't know if they ever interact with the camera crew or if the camera crew get involved in the plot. And they don't overdo it in this, but every so often, like this, the crew do get involved because they, like, one of them gets eaten. And then they show the fact that the sound just goes all warbly. The fact, oh god, we needed that person. So there's actually thought in the joke.
Yes, absolutely.
They're well into paranormal when they were getting chased up a tree by a werewolf. You know what I mean? The camera crew's trying to get up a tree as well.
Yep, exactly.
Or when an entire crew gets eaten by Tanafa because what's his face didn't want to do his shift, didn't want to, and he left the camera crew to do it for him. When they bring the camera crew into the joke, it's done really well.
It's working really well. Yeah, so it's kind of those questions about, well, why are they there in the first place? And that's like, oh, well, who really cares? It works. It's working. So
yep, they're filming a show. That's it. They're on the show, and that's it. That's all you need.
Yep. Good concept. It is. It's working. So yeah.
Off they trot on their night out into the town, and
Crikey. Oh dear. Who the hell wants to go and take that dude out on the town, man? No
No,
thanks.
he's that person you have to go back to the bar the next day and apologize for.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely. Yep. Had to do that before. Never mind. Yeah, exactly. He's I like what they got him dressed in though to go out. I thought that was hilarious. Just like the cap on. But you can't do anything about your face.
No.
Maybe he could pretend he was wearing a mask or something. I don't know, but nobody batted an eyelid, did they? No one. Oh, it was weird.
Not really. But then again, this universe setting up that basically Lower Hutt is like that. Or sorry, this is Staten Island, but
Yes.
I suppose Staten Island is probably the same. It's New York,
Yeah.
isn't it? Around that area.
Yeah. Of course.
So
Yeah.
it's probably they've seemed weirder, during the week.
True. Yep.
If it was Vegas, so we need bat an eyelid to be like, all right, there's another whatever.
Yep. That's right.
But yeah, even the effects when he's like munching on people just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
And
Great. Oh, with some of the scenes of him upside down and sucking. Oh god, blimey! Yeah, he's hungry. He's going around and annihilating loads of people in front of everybody. Oh no, they're just kissing. Oh, they're just having a hug. Yeah, right.
and we're watching obviously Nandor, Laszlo, and Nadja, just their worlds are falling apart. They're like, our quiet life is getting what is going on?
Yes, I know. It's sad. Oh, but yeah, it's very comical. I loved it. I loved watching them walking around, going from place to place, and took us on a bit of an adventure out of the house. So that was quite cool.
And then obviously the Baron finds a homeless person who's off his face on whatever, and so they all get high, they all drink and get up. That's funny because that's actually built into Vampire the Masquerade, the role-playing game.
Really?
Yeah, you can have a character who's a vampire who has an addiction.
All right, okay.
And the only way a vampire gets to do it is by drinking the blood of somebody. So if a vampire is an alcoholic, they'll have to go drink the blood of alcoholics. If they're heroin addict, they have to go and drink the blood. They can't use the substance themselves.
Yeah.
So that's actually that is a part of vampire lore, so to speak, that's been built in over when's that game first out? The 90s. I mean, you're talking 30 years plus.
Wow.
Of that being in the lore, and the fact that they have brought it into their TV show as well makes you wonder, have they... I've got the feeling Taika and Jermaine are nerds, I think they might have grown up.
Total nerds. Yeah, they're total nerds. Yeah. But
I have a funny feeling they would have played Vampire the Masquerade. I have a funny feeling they'd be aware of this sort of stuff or hung out with people that did.
Does that have to be? Because I mean, I don't think I've seen that concept before. Of that, of that being a law that
it's from the game, and this game is massive, and it's still played today. The original company, White Wolf's gone. That created the game.
Yeah.
But in the 90s, God, that was top tier. That's how I got into role playing. I didn't find out about Dungeons and Dragons till like years after, and it was of no interest because I played all these other games, horror games that were, in my opinion, much better.
Yeah.
That was my first introduction, was Vampire the game, and that was the whole thing about you could make a flaw for your character, because that meant then you had to go and do it. If you didn't, you went into a rage. And it caused all sorts of problems. So you had to go get your fix when you started getting the shakes and go and find a human. And then if you rolled dice, you found the human or you didn't. It's it adds a bit of tension into the game. It's a lot of fun to mess about with.
Cool. Yep. Wow. Cool. Yes.
So I just... the fact they're making underworld references, because let's be honest, those movies aren't for the mainstream audience. They might have been styled in an action movie, but it's vampire nerds that really got into those films.
Yep. Yep. That's right.
So I'm seeing where they're getting their references from. I'm like, yeah, these two
Yep.
they're full on nerds who have
Good.
got a chance to make a TV show.
Yep. 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 Absolutely. Yeah. That was hilarious. The drug blood. Just all of them. They just went crazy. Oh my God. I was laughing so hard. I wasn't expecting that. It was really, really cool.
And we've all been there. They start off in a sports bar, and I'm like, God, I was feeling this life sucked out of me. I've seen those sort of bars, and you're like, nah, that's not a fun night out.
Oh God, I know. It must have been a Monday night.
Yeah, that's somewhere you go to maybe start off one or two, but you're not. Yeah, that's not a good night out. But
no.
sure enough, they end up in the dodgy nightclub, and we've all been there. We've all had one or too many, and then we get very philosophical, and the state of the world.
Yeah, yes, of course. Yep. He played that really well.
And
He
then,
did get very deep, didn't he?
yep.
But then he did admit something that
I was about to say the whole central part of this story was they were plotting to kill the Baron because one of them gone out of their lives, and he was plotting or planning to just wipe them all out.
Yep.
And you just reach that moment of, oh, right, this isn't going to end well.
No. Something is amiss. Something's going to happen. Oh yes. Yes. Oh, poor Baron.
Oh dear. And his familiar's almost as frightening as him.
Oh God, she's so terrifying. She's like a witch or something. I don't know. She's just a look on her face. Oh my God, what a great actress.
Yeah, she's really nailed it.
Well. Yeah.
No dialogue. Like that takes a lot, doesn't it? To be able
Yeah.
to create an entire character with no dialogue and have a presence.
Yes, exactly. A very powerful presence, a very scary one. She was when you see the familiars on here, they seem to be quite dense or whatever. She seemed to have something different. Maybe it was age. Maybe she's been around for thousands of years, as opposed to
You get the impression she's not just a human.
Yeah,
you get the impression she's a witch or has a sorcerer of some sort that might have aligned herself with the Baron.
Yeah.
It's you're talking like vice president almost.
Yes.
She could become a vampire but doesn't want to. Sort of. She had those options.
Yeah.
Type person.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But not even saying a word. That's brilliant. Like that's all conveyed, and you think about all that, and she doesn't say a word.
No, exactly. How they can manage to do that, it's very, very brilliant, isn't it? It's a very brilliant way they can do that. Yeah.
God. And then, of course, they're basically out all night. They come back to the house and all sort of forgiven, and the Baron's falling about the place. We've all been there.
Yeah. A few times over the years, yep.
And it's Caramel wipes him out, opens the front door.
I know. God, that was unexpected. It was hilarious. I'm sorry. Especially what happens afterwards. When they're trying to pick him up and he's breaking in half.
But even that, so basically the Baron falls down, he crashes through the banister and he just misses the stake. And it's a setup for a gag. Because he's, I just missed this and I just missed that. Oh, that'll be bad. And sure enough, front door, both.
Yep.
Because obviously Guillermo doesn't expect them to be still up. They're normally well tucked away.
No, and he comes in, here's your roses that you wanted. Oops. I killed the Baron. Oh, he was devastated.
Yeah.
Wasn't he?
But I just love the way the closing scene is, oh shit.
Oh shit! Yeah,
And you're just like, just, you know, it's the way that it's said.
yeah,
You just really
yeah.
felt it in that moment. Like the way they deliver their lines is bloody brilliant.
Oh, it is. It is. They're very well done. It's not really. It's not really slapstick American sort of what we'd expect from American comedy. It's got a bit of a mix of New Zealand and some maybe bad jokes, bad dad jokes, but
Yep.
they do it at such the right, perfect timing that it's actually very, very funny. And it's not supposed to be because they're so serious, but then it is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Make us, yeah, you know
It's
what I mean?
horror
But
comedy. That's
it is.
I think horror comedy, when it's done right, is my favorite subgenre because it blends the two together. And I have a dark sense of humor, as we've discussed.
Yeah.
And I just love it when the two are brought together, so I get to indulge it because I can't, in polite company, indulge my sense of humor. I have to all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So I love it when you get a proper dark comedy series and it just breaks all the taboos and plays about with stuff, because that's when I get to that rip and just give a good belly laugh at stuff that
Yes.
normal people shouldn't be laughing at. But
Yeah.
that's
But it is. It's great, eh? It's brilliant. When horror can make you laugh, it's just like, oh, it's a winner. It's a winner.
I think that's why I get really annoyed when it's done badly.
Yes, they're real bad ones. They really are.
There's people put stuff forward as a horror comedy, and I use inverted commas for that, and it doesn't land at all.
No,
And
it doesn't land.
I get really annoyed because, yeah, the more I think about it, this and creature features are sort of my favorite. Creature features, supernatural beings. You know, I just love otherworldly cosmic horror type stuff. More cosmic horror than supernatural, I think. And sort of mind bending reality. You know, I sort of like that stuff. But horror comedy's always been there. But when it's not done right, I get annoyed because I'm expecting just to, like I said, indulge in my dark humor. But I don't get to do it, and the jokes don't land. I just go, oh, why?
Yeah, that's right. And there have been a lot of those over the years. Oh my God.
Like, my favorite horror comedy series of all time is Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Right.
That is just right up there and sort of like,
oh, brilliant,
grotesque horror. And
yep.
Bruce Campbell just absolutely nails it. And plus, God, Dana and I forget the guy who plays Miguel.
I don't. Okay.
The two actors that he has as part of his team, the three of them, absolutely nail it, and it's fantastic. Just a shame what happened to that show. With all the shenanigans in the background, it's only got 3 seasons. Well, it was cancelled after 2, and then it got rescued for 1, and it was very disjointed because of the shenanigans in the background, which had no reason to be. It should have been that should have been top tier TV show, absolutely bringing it in, and don't know what happened. Same as this one, more people are discovering this now later on than when it came out.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe the word's got around, got a good rep. Yeah. Yeah, because they're still making series.
Yeah, season 6 is going to be the final season. Yeah, but it's good that you could actually go back in this. It's not off the moment comedy that ages.
No. Like, it doesn't date at all because the vampires don't date. So the film's not dating, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, which is really cool. So
then obviously we've got the next episode, then the trial, and that's the after effects of basically previous episode.
Yes, very good, very good. Got some good cameos in this one too for you, Chris.
Oh God, this is the really called in favorites for this one.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it's funny the fact, okay, let's stick the Baron back in his coffin, pretend nothing's happening. And even the props department making that body thing, is just...
Yep. And for it to break apart, and I mean, I don't... Brilliant. Yeah.
They're up in the attic trying to put it back in, and I don't get why they're not getting burned, because the sunlight's coming through the attic, in different spots.
I think they're avoiding it. I think that they've just managed to avoid it. It would have been more authentic, I'd say, if one of them had a bit of a smoke burn coming off, a shoulder or an arm or something. But yeah, I know what you mean. It was hit and miss. It was like...
I was only saying that's really didn't land because there shouldn't have been like up in the attic with all the sunlight coming through. They really should have been getting burnt. And they've done this loads of times with the sun, so
yeah.
I wasn't feeling it because they were walking through those bits and they were getting hit and nothing was happening.
Yeah. Because at first I thought they were walking around them, but I don't know if hopefully, they'll plot fail. Bloody hell.
It's only time.
Yeah.
This is, I suppose you can forgive them one lapse because everything else has been so detail orientated and top tier that I suppose one scene.
Yeah.
You can forgive.
Yeah.
But Guillermo is freaking out. He's just lost the plot. He's like, what have I done? What have I done?
He's ruined everything. Oh my goodness. Oh, I feel so sorry for him sometimes. I do, but
yeah, it's like, why are you doing this?
Oh, exactly. Oh no. And then when he meets all the other familiars and they're all miserable, and it's, oh yeah, no, I've been with Mama for 20 years, and oh my God.
But I think we've got a wee hint that the Baron's going to be back.
Yes, we
did. You notice? Did you notice during the burial scene? So they decide they couldn't stick him back on the coffin again. They were just going to ship him off. You know what I mean? Pretend nothing happened.
Yep.
So they decide to bury him, and then the bit where they decide to give him a last drink.
Yep.
Did you notice when they poured it in the mouth and the eyes lit up?
Yep. Little red eyes. It was like, oh, okay. I thought he was going to come back right then and there at that moment, start moving or something, but I think he's going to have to regenerate, isn't he? So that's going to be interesting.
No, but the good thing about this series is they don't rush it. They'll leave a little hint that something's going to happen later on. Like, if you remember when the Baron first arrived, you saw the roof tiles slip and the sunlight come through. So they're almost leaving you a little hint. This is what's going to happen to him.
Yes, that was a big hint. Yeah. Exactly.
So there's a lot of clever writing and it's joined up. That's what I'm really enjoying about this show. The plot is joined up. They're not... How many TV shows have you watched and you get maybe 3/4 away through the first season, you're thinking, oh God, how are they going to get... They've written themselves in their corner already. This is going to be daft. And most TV shows by the third season, they've completely written themselves in their corner and they've left themselves nowhere to go. And you're just like, oh, and you give up.
Oh, that's happened so many times in so many series. Yeah. You just give up. It's just, Oh, lots of them.
God, what was it? I tried to watch the Resident Evil one.
Yeah.
I didn't even get through the first episode.
Really? Oh,
I didn't even get through. I'm just like, I was going to review it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what the hell? How have they managed to like completely mess up from the beginning to the middle? Like on the first episode? So they couldn't even write their way properly through an episode. Oh God, it was so disjointed and all over the place.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Don't waste your time, honestly. It's not worth it.
Oh my God.
And I'm just like, what?
These are people with big, huge budgets,
And fragile egos because they'll go after you if you dare criticize their big, glorious art.
Yeah, exactly.
But at least with these guys, you're seeing that they've thought it through, which is...
Yes.
I don't understand what happened to Taika. Like, he really made a bad name for himself in Hollywood with the Marvel stuff.
I just think he took the comedy too far.
Like, he
didn't
really
take it
rubbed people,
serious.
and I haven't seen any of the movie. I've seen a couple of them, but honestly, I gave up on all that stuff years ago.
Yeah, me too.
Boring me.
I couldn't keep up with it, so I had to drop out because it was just there was too many different Ant-Man, then bloody this and then bloody that, and it was
You
just
had to
like, oh
watch
my
everything
God.
before, plus 20 TV
Yes,
shows. Just yeah.
exactly. And I gave up. I was all everything's perfect. I had them all, I was all up to date, and then all of a sudden, bang, 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 they all came out at once, and it was like, oh my God. So now I'm like, I don't know, 60 videos away from where I was when I initially started watching Marvel. And it's like, I'm never going to catch up. And I don't care anymore because you guys messed it up. It wasn't like it used to be,
Yeah.
when Iron Man or first came out. None of that shit was going on,
I don't
So
know what
I
they're
don't
planning.
know.
But Taika really, I don't know what happened to him. Because you see from this writing, and maybe because
He's
he's working
brilliant.
with Jermaine, and
Yeah,
you see some of his other stuff, it's really clever.
it
And the
is.
humor isn't over the top. I mean, the
No,
humor here is clever humor, and it's not scary movie type humor where it's really in your face.
no, not at all.
So Chris says our American comedy is about pushing the disgust factor to the limit. Yeah, like a scary movie.
Yeah,
They overdo the sort of shock value, which then
yeah,
stops being funny. It dates very quickly.
it does.
There's
It
something about
does.
Mary. Have I watched what's her
Oh,
face?
Cameron Diaz.
Yeah. Have I
Cameron
watched that?
died.
I can't remember if I
It's,
watched that. But
oh,
that sort of comedy doesn't land
no,
with me.
that was actually funny when it first came out, and then everybody mocked the shit out of it
That's what I
after
mean about
that.
dating quickly. It's
Yeah,
you might get the first initial giggle, and then that's it. It's done. Or
it's
if
done.
you don't watch it in the time where everyone's laughing, it doesn't land the comedy.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah,
Where this has been out
100%.
for a few years, and
Yes,
we're revisiting, and it's still funny.
it is. It is. Everyone looks normal, everyone out in the world when they're walking around and all that sort of stuff. It looks like it could be now,
Mm-hmm.
set and now. So, yeah, no, they're brilliant. Tiger's done really, and Jermaine, they've really outdone themselves with these two TV shows. So I don't know where he's gone. I don't know what he's doing anymore, but yeah. Well, he's obviously still doing what we do in the shadows, isn't he? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I don't know. Maybe he's come home and he's sulking because he blew himself up in Hollywood.
Yeah,
Sorry,
honestly,
Taika. That's terrible. I
no, but
don't mean to laugh, but it just goes to show, egotistical sort of. He got a power trip. He took it too far. He ruined it. So I
there's a
don't know.
lesson there.
There is a lesson there. There is. Yeah.
So I'm always very like this whole YouTube thing. I see a lot of the bigger channels, and they just spend their time sniping at each other,
Yes.
and they're
Yes.
slagging people over. You've only 800,000 subscribers. I have 101.2 million or something. You know what I mean? It's all that sort of, and you're like, what the
Yeah.
hell? If that's what happens to you, no thanks.
Yeah.
And I've
No,
always got that in
exactly.
the back of my head, not to be that.
Don't be that sort of person.
It's
No.
it's too easy to happen. You see it with writers and stuff. Somebody gets a wee bit popular and it goes straight to their head in the indie
Yeah.
circles, and you're like, what are you
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep.
And then they end up becoming irrelevant, crashing and burning, and then they wonder why. It's now I've always got that in the back of my head about this sort of stuff because it'd be so easy a trap to fall into.
Oh, hell yeah.
But then we have what's it? Bury the Baron. I think that's it. But God, their reporting system's super efficient. All of a sudden, these ravens start appearing.
Yeah, that was great.
That was really intense.
It was. It was, wasn't it? Yes, had no idea what was the hell was going to happen there. Oh God, it reminded me of Birds.
Yeah.
The horror. Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
wouldn't surprise me if they're fans of the Birds as well. It just got that their
Yeah. Alfred
jokes
Hitchcock.
are
Yep.
they can't just be researched if it makes sense.
Yep.
You have to have an
Yep.
appreciation. Like if somebody who's not a fan of Hitchcock or the Birds has never watched the Birds, wouldn't get the humor to put it into a show just by
Yeah. No.
researching. They're showing they've got, love of the vampire lore, the love of the supernatural, love of horror. There's
Yes.
there's a love there because they bring it in and it works. If you don't have that
Yes.
love, you can't
Yep.
clinically insert it.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. Yeah.
But
That was
yeah,
a great scene. Oh, you didn't answer our Raven call.
yeah, the messenger, the harbinger appears. Oh, God, she was brilliant. She's another brilliant character. Hope to see her again.
Oh, wasn't she great? Gliding along and blah 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 blah. It was like hilarious. Oh my God. And she had a witch's hat on. I think it was a witch's hat. Oh my God. She's batshit crazy. Sorry.
Yeah, she appears at the door. They've been summoned to the vampire council.
Yeah, no. Oh my God. I wonder if they took that off Twilight.
You can
Come to
see
think about it,
the,
there's bits and pieces of different movies in there, eh?
but
I do. Oh man.
once again, it's not that they've researched the movies; they've watched the movies and loved them and got the
Yes.
humor. That's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say is you can't manufacture this sort of humor.
No.
You have to
No. No.
be a nerd. You have to like really love this sort of stuff, or else you're not going to get the jokes
Yes.
or make the
Yes.
jokes.
That's
Sorry,
yeah.
make the jokes.
Yeah. Yeah. So, he's just like Sir Peter Jackson. Really, they've got their. I don't know. They've got their little niche of comedy mixed with horror, and they love films and they love the films that we love to watch and all that sort of stuff, and they've managed to put parody into a lot of their films, well, especially Taika anyway. And it works really well. Yeah. But that chick was funny as, and I love the way that she goes to push the elevator door, then all of a sudden she's in the elevator, and then she's outside of the elevator. I thought that was really well.
Yeah,
The
the sort
great
of quick camera
editing.
shots in her appearing, and yeah,
Yes, great editing. It was brilliant.
but
Scary lady.
but the fact that went from like that morning or that evening to having taken care of, obviously it's the familiars went and reported on them, but the fact that
Yeah,
it got convened that quickly, I thought this
yeah,
might have been about 2 or 3 episodes down the line, and they thought they
yeah.
got away with it. They got caught, but no, they just did it straight away. But
Yes.
it's got me thinking, actually, if that's the way vampire councils and vampire ruling bodies work and they're that efficient, then maybe they should rule.
Exactly right. What's going on?
I welcome our vampire rulers if this is how efficient they are, because the the human ones are crap. They waste
Oh
so
my
much time
God.
and effort and money over stupidity.
Could you just imagine that? Vampires running the world, ruling the world? Oh my God. I might have to write a story about that. That's
Well,
really, really
actually, have you
interesting.
seen Daybreakers?
Ah, yeah, I think I have. Yeah, Daybreakers. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, true. Yeah. Interesting.
that's our
Yeah.
Sam Neill
Okay.
movie.
Mm.
Yeah, Sam Neill's in that,
Yeah.
isn't he?
Who's that? Yeah.
Sam Neill.
Not sure if it was. Is it Sam Neill?
I think it's Sam Neill.
Not Liam Leeson? Oh, no, it could be. Yeah. They will. I'm actually not too sure if I did watch it.
2009.
I'm
Sam
sure I
Neill,
watched
Willem
it.
Dafoe, Ethan Hawke's in it.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely would have watched that
Oh
one.
God, yeah, flip's sake. Top tier cast there. Ethan Hawke, Willem Dafoe, Sam Neill. Flip's sake, that's.
Yeah. Wow.
I need to watch that again because I can't remember. I knew had a few issues with it, but I don't know whether it was a a convoluted plot at the end that ruined the movie. Because the concept was solid.
If Ethan Hawke was in it, most probably. Yeah. I don't know.
I like Ethan Hawke. He plays some good roles. Like
He does.
even in Training Day, he played a good role.
Yeah, actually, he was in Sinister too.
Sinister.
Sinister.
He was in the first one. Was he in the second one?
Yeah, the first one. No, I haven't watched the second one. I mean, as in also.
No, he was in. I think he was in the second one as well, if I remember.
Oh, cool. Yeah. See, I like it when
the
he
second
does
one wasn't as
things
good.
like
The second one kind of fell off the.
Yeah.
For sake of the black phone. Oh my god, he absolutely nailed it in that.
Oh yes, of course.
The grabber.
Yeah. Yes. Black phone rocked, man.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes.
I need to watch that again.
Yeah, I think I have to watch it again too because that was brilliant. But you reviewed that one too, didn't you? Black phone.
Funny enough, yeah, that with Cameron.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, okay.
Cameron, you're naughty. By the way.
Oh, what's he done now?
Spoiler. He says, I'm not going to give you a spoiler or anything. I'm not going to do that. But then, Geronimo becomes a vampire. I'm like, you bloody hell!
That's right.
Oh, you tell him off for me.
I told him as well. I'm like, I've only got up to season 4. I'm sort of broken on and off, and I'm practically revisiting these for the first time.
Yeah.
Like, don't want it spoiled. Thank you.
No, exactly. He spoiled it for us. Oh my god. Oh well, we know eventually he was going to end up. Well,
it was going to be it was going to happen at some point. So yeah, that's the whole.
Way. Yes, but damn it, Cameron.
Oh dear. Yeah, they're getting led down to the Vampire Council, and then I think they're meeting the council, 2 people. What do you call him? John Batista. I don't know who the ones up beside him was.
I don't know who she was. No, I've got no idea. But yeah, he looked really good, didn't he? He's oh god, creepy. He looked terrifying.
It didn't. I remember the first time watching it, I didn't pick up half the cameos. Now I'm sort of get them. But yeah, they go into the Vampire Council and it's trial by interpretive dance. They thought it'd be nice to welcome people with a dance.
Where the hell did that come from? Why? It was really well done. It was really well done, but it was like, why?
I honestly think it was a piss take of your favorite franchise.
You think?
No, the Italian ones.
Oh yeah.
I think they were mocking those ones.
Oh, they could have been. Yeah. But they don't do any dancing.
That's why I'm saying it's making fun of them,
Oh, you could be right. But yeah, well, it was a ridiculous dance. They looked good, but it was really fantastic to see everybody back again. Viago and
Vladislav and Deacon from the movie. You're just like, oh yes.
Yes. It was like, is it really him? Oh, that's him. Yay. Yeah, it just added something. It's great to have them come back on and, the old crew like that.
It ties it together without being...
It does. Without being the same show, right? It's the same genre. It's the same show.
Same universe,
But not. Yeah, exactly. But to see Wesley Snipes in there.
Oh my God, he's hilarious.
And Tilda. Oh my God. And then she said, oh, I tried to contact Brad and Tom, but they couldn't make it. So I was like, oh my God, that was so cool. Just that scene, having all those little Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise. Oh my God.
That would have been funny actually if they had been there in the Vampire Council. And
wouldn't it have been?
There's a few I didn't get, obviously, but you can just tell it's cameo-tastic, and Fair play to him
Yeah.
for putting that together. That must have been some work.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I thought. Because I do know a little bit about cameos, and I think they have to. Well, you have to pay to have them on your whatever you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You give them a script, and they have a certain amount of time. So I'm thinking, what I was thinking was that was filmed much earlier. There was the one with Denzel Washington, Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes. Get it right. That must have been done earlier and put on
before
that.
his tax incident.
But yeah. Oh my God, just great. It was just awesome, man.
Oh, there was a great joke in the Expendables movies. Was it the second or third one?
I've only watched the first one.
It's I think I've seen 2 or 3 of them, but there's one. They're rescuing him from a train. He's in like a prison train, and that's the opening thing. They're rescuing him. They get one of the new characters like, "What the hell were you in here for?" You know, because he's all locked up and had to fight their way through the train. He's in this super fortified thing, and he's in a jail within a jail. They're having to break him out. And he's like, well, "What did you do?" And he's like, "Tax evasion." You know what I mean? Self-aware joke.
Was that Bono?
No, Wesley, that's he did like 5 years inside.
Oh yeah, I know.
He like proper did time for it.
He is a legit thing, yeah.
Fucking...
Yeah. That's why people turned against you too, because Bono refused to pay any taxes. Oh, come on, dude. We all have to pay taxes. Jeez.
Taxes.
The only guarantee in life: taxes and death.
And then obviously we'll have the cutscene where Guillermo's sent down to the familiar room, and we get that sort of same scene as the
the last one.
The nightclub.
Yes, the nightclub. Yep, where they had to go, where all the familiars are down in the dungeon room, the worst room. Oh God. They all look very miserable, don't they?
Yeah, but there's a bit of a trope there. You know, it's like, is that the sort of people get attracted to being a familiar for a vampire? I think that's sort of the joke. Why would you, sort of thing?
Yeah. I like the way that they're doing, playing up this familiar thing, you know, because he's so desperate to be one, and then you see Naja just going and doing whatever the hell she wants and turning anyone the hell she wants into vampires, and she follows them, and it's really, really cool.
Yeah, and then that's where you've got that old guy. He's like, oh, yeah, he said he'll turn me any day now.
Any day now. Yeah, poor old dude.
Yeah.
And that bit with the baby, the 90-year-old.
Oh, that was the joke at the start with Dave Bautista, wasn't it? He was locked up. They're basically in prison.
Yes.
Because he allegedly turned a baby and left in the Bronx, and it was actually Laszlo.
Yeah.
And he's like, if I ever find that man, the one that did it, I'll do this and that to them. And
that was freaking. And then we get to see a little bit of the baby. You don't get to see much, but you get a quick. Oh my God! Oh, that was hilarious. Poor Laszlo. He's a jeepers. Don't abandon babies in bloody what was it? The Bronx?
The Bronx, yeah. And...
Is that Boston?
Oh, hey Diggs, how are you, man? Welcome. There's Twitch coming alive now as well. I've noticed with Twitch, you have to be on for a while before it starts to wake up and let people know that you're live.
Really?
Yeah, and then usually people start coming on just to finish up.
Oh.
Don't know. Twitch need to get their act together with their admin.
I'll say.
Yeah. And of course, they're getting charged with killing the Baron, and they're denying it. And then Guillermo comes in to say, "It was me.
It was me. I did it."
And they're like, "Nah."
Not you. No, you couldn't kill a vampire.
But
do you guys know how easy it is to kill a vampire? It's very, very simple.
just funny the way, he is the butt of the joke, and that's I can't remember what the term is. It's the opposite of the straight man in the comedy. He's the one that gets all slapstick and that. Bloody Colin turned up on the council.
I know.
And just been an absolute dick about everything.
He was, oh man, he can be a right royal asshole, eh? That was just phenomenal. Why the hell is he in the council? He's on everything.
But that's what I'm saying about his character, so brilliant. It's a self-aware character of, he plays the sort of grey man that people would not really pay attention to, but there's a cunningness in him. The fact that he's into everything, he just turns up in the council, and it's almost like revenge for them not inviting him out on the night.
Yes, exactly.
And he's like, what do you want me to do?
Yep. It's the quiet ones you have to watch out for, even in vampire lore.
Yep.
Definitely.
And the jokes with Wesley as well. Oh, Wesley, hey, day worker. Look, he's laughing. Look at him sitting out in the sun. He's laughing at us. Like,
that was brilliant. Oh, we can't trust him. He's half vampire, half human.
I'm only going to listen to half of what he says.
Half of what he says.
That was so much fun. But if I was in an American sitcom, a normal American sitcom, that would be so telegraphed and it'd be just so unfunny.
It would just be ridiculous.
It's blah, blah, blah from blah, blah, blah. You may know such and such from blah, blah, blah. What do you think, such and such? I hate the way they do that. And I just go, oh, stop, please.
Yeah. No, it's crap. It's crap.
Yeah, we're here to have a bunch of A-listers and famous faces just blended in, and it's ground level humor, just everyone having a dig at each other, and
they
didn't they casually wrote the script as if it was just normal, and that's what makes it funnier and makes the cameos more special. You get the impression that they're just taking part as a favor or a bunch of friends, as opposed to here's let's get paid money to appear in this bit.
Yeah.
Oh god, Chris mentioned the Sharknado series. They do it really badly. Here's famous person. Let me point the famous person so you know it's famous person.
No, this way they did it so that you didn't know. It was like, what? Why is it? What? What's he doing here? And it's like,
it takes you a minute to register, and it's afterwards you're like, hey, hang on a minute, something just happened there. Let me go back and look.
Yep. Exactly, because I was like, Tilda? What? Yeah. So, was she a vampire in something?
I'm not sure. She's played weird and wonderful roles throughout the years.
She has. Constantine, blimmin' Lord of the Rings. Just so I'm just wondering how she fitted into
No, it's Kate Blanchett you're thinking of. Tilda Swinton wasn't in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Was she?
Oh. Yeah, she was the no, not Tilda. That was someone else.
That was Kate Blanchett you're thinking of.
That's Kate Blanchett.
Yeah.
What an egg. Sorry, I got her mixed up. Yeah, no, she was on Benjamin Button. Yeah, she's Benjamin Button. She was the one that swam the coast. Did you watch Benjamin Button?
Yeah, that was Brad Pitt, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Only Lovers Left Alive, 2013. I don't remember that one.
That's not a vampire one?
Yeah, it's a vampire comedy.
And she was in it?
Yeah, 2013.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. I just needed to know that because it's just like...
Only Lovers Left Alive. We'll have to look up. Actually, we'll have to look that one up. Didn't even know that was a thing.
No, I never heard of it.
There you go.
Yeah. So yeah, this one was a blast. It was cool having the different people on there, and
Chris is in Kate Blanchett and Tilda Swinton look very similar. Yeah, they do have a sort of look about them, the similar bone structure.
Sharp features that I get mixed up with sometimes. They got very sharp features. Very, very great acting. Yeah. So she played this one really well.
Yeah.
Whatever it was
But
supposed to
obviously they
be.
get found guilty and sentenced to be put in the well to be killed by his son. Straight rip off from Interview with a Vampire. Like,
Complete rip-off. Absolutely. Fan fiction, I have to say. That was fan fiction for you, Chris. Yeah, honestly, that was just like seeing Claudia in there all over again.
because they almost had them back at, when they go in, there's the two bodies, and you think, no, they wouldn't have. It's not that obvious.
Yeah, there were 3 bodies.
There's 3.
And so and I thought it was the 3 of them for a split second, and then it was like, no, that can't be. And it was like, hey, this is the same place where Claudia was murdered.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's it's clever. Once
Right.
again, you can get the jokes. It's funny, but the references, the previous vampire stuff and films and that, it's just a little extra.
It is. It is a little extra. Yeah.
So unlike today where you have to know the stuff or it has to be telegraphed, that's just a little extra layer that the joke is already in place, because this is a funny show.
Yeah.
Anyway, but it's also indulging the nerdy side. Like Tilda Swinton appearing in this. We only found out 10 seconds ago that she was in a vampire movie.
Yeah.
But she was still funny in it, and the scene was still funny.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Brilliant. Yeah, maybe they just all know each other, and yeah, you never know. Yeah, it might not be cameos. They might actually seriously just wanted to be part of it.
You wouldn't know. That's old school. That's old school Hollywood.
It is.
That's 70s and 80s Hollywood, where directors will have friends and will help each other out. And Steve and I are talking, like, everyone wanted to be in Columbo. That was a rite of passage.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? An actor wanted to be the villain in Columbo.
Yep.
Or be a part, because it was such a well-loved show, and it wasn't about the money. It was about it was about being part of something and being part of that sort of zeitgeist of making good TV and enjoying themselves. That's been lost now completely.
Oh,
it's completely gone, which is why the art is suffering. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of contributing factors why people don't enjoy movies anymore and don't enjoy TV and don't enjoy media.
Yeah.
And it's not just the one thing. There's a whole... And it's a change in culture. And this is part of the culture change, I believe, is part of it, where the artists are only in for themselves and their own brand. And everything's a business transaction, where you can do that, but you can also give a bit of yourself as part of, like, the overarching community, or having fun.
Yes.
And that does pay you back, but it might be in the long term, not immediate, where everyone wants this immediate payback and everything's suffering because they won't build on. Like, I guess shows putting little jokes that maybe aren't getting paid off for 3 or 4 episodes later. And they've got the patience to do that. And I think this is the last of that sort of comedy, because that is completely gone now.
It is. It's a shambles. It's really sad.
It is.
It's really sad. It's taken away a lot of dreams of people who wanted to, had that follow the California dream all the way to Hollywood, that sort of, I don't know, giving people an incentive. And now, I don't know, what's left is the independent film realm, and that's all good and dandy, but that's a lot of hit and miss, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So so your acting career is not really solidified unless you're an classified an A-lister actor or whatever, who can just get a job just like that.
Mm-hmm.
You're seeing more people jumping into the independent film realm now, but there are people who don't like independent films. So
you put the word independent, and there are a section of people just instantly turn off.
Yep, there is.
Independent film, independent writing. The minute you put that word indie or independent, it's an instant turn off to a lot of folks, and that's because of a reputation that's been built.
It's stigma.
The big companies don't want the competition. They want to rule everything.
Yeah.
So it's all part of that. People's, like, independent media, for example, they're always written off as quacks and everything else. this stuff is written off what we do.
Yeah.
Because they can't control it. And that's become more and more obvious. And it's always going to be that way. But the fact that people believe it, do you really want them as your audience anyway? Because I would like to think people that come on here want to have a conversation.
Yeah.
Want to think about the nuances. There's loads of channels out there that does it. Shit, that's great, and if you don't like us, you're a bad person. There's loads of those channels out there, so you can go and watch those.
Yeah.
The people I like to think are coming here want a bit more.
Yeah. Exactly. Because you do thorough reviews, and there's other people that do like 1 minute reviews, and it's like, so.
I like this. That was really good. Go watch it. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know, but our conversations, like, that's the whole point of. If we were sitting in a room in a coffee shop or a bar and we were talking about the film to watch the night before, and then we think about, well, do you remember this and that? That's the sort of conversation I like to have. And
yeah,
I think there's people, the fact more people are coming on board every day, I think people want that as well, because the shiny corporate stuff's all right now and again, but it's very repetitive and boring. And
it is. And you cover a lot of different eclectic sort of different a variety of films, and subjects on here, like horror and games, but particularly the horror. There's lots of different horror.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to highlight to people, that it's not just the one thing. Like, we've talked about loads of different movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, but when it comes to independent, I think that's what people do, is they're thinking, well, independent means nobody's backing you, and so it's not going to be a good movie. And it's like, well, actually, you need to re-educate yourself if you think that's what independent films are all about. But you're right, some people have ruined it, and it has left a bit of a stigma behind. But
and nobody wants to talk about it.
Yeah, they don't. Right?
I've tried to have this conversation with people, and people instantly don't want to talk to me anymore. The minute I want to approach this, nope, gone. It's like they're afraid of getting dogpiled on. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god!
Because especially in independent writing, there's a nastiness there, and even if people don't know what's went on, they pick up the vibe very quickly, and then they get put off by it.
Yeah.
And I've tried to touch on it and find out what the hell's going on or where it's stemming from, but nobody wants to broach the subject, so I don't bother anymore. Don't waste my time.
Wow.
Because I know there's something going on. When if you ever walk into a room and you know the two people have an issue with each other, you just know from the atmosphere.
Tension.
And you know that there's something going on, and there's things that have been building up, and you know there's an atmosphere, and people aren't stupid. They can pick up on that, even in type or in social media groups and stuff. People can pick up when there's an atmosphere and there's something just not quite right.
Yeah.
And that's the fortune of the indie scene, is there is an atmosphere, especially in more the writing scene than the filmmaking. The filmmaking seems to have a bit more of a positive bent to it.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether it's the type of people that are involved, are more go-getters and more outgoing, but there's definite, once again, people are expecting it just to be terrible and whatever. And I give fair reviews when I do indie stuff as well, because I want to judge it in the same standards of the basics of storytelling and characterization, because you get those two things right, everything else falls into place. If you don't get those two things right, it doesn't matter. You can spend hundreds of thousands. Look at modern Hollywood. God, there's a film we're talking about on Tuesday, and it's another one that's fallen short of that. Just bad storytelling. Started off good and then fell off a cliff.
Was it a short story?
No, it was Alien. We're doing Alien Romulus on Tuesday.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
There's another. Obviously, I'm not getting into spoilers. I'm saying it for the show. That'll get people over that. I think most people are going to see it this weekend. Who are going to see it. Don't want to spoil it, but yeah, there's issues there, and it's nothing to do with the money spent or the effects or the looks.
Interesting.
So they've spent 80 million, which is reasonable budget. It looks lovely, but it's not getting the basics. And the same as a show, you know, if they didn't get the basics right, it would fall apart. None of it would work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%.
But I just love the bit at the end. That's like they're in the well, they're waiting for the sun to come up, and then Colin and Guillermo appear. In fact, Colin meets Guillermo,
Yeah, I know.
and he's having a wee dig at him too. Like he knows.
They take the bets on a roller coaster ride.
Yeah, you've been with us a while, haven't you? Yeah, maybe one day, you know, and just
Maybe one day.
no, fine, rightly, it's not. You know what I mean? Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's like, Colin, why don't you turn him? You could be his familiar.
That's something we need to explore. Actually, hope it gets explored. You know, I think they're just leaving up there for a later time.
Yeah,
the whole energy
something
vampire thing.
similar.
How are they created?
Yeah.
Where do they come from? It's a whole mystery.
Yeah,
But
it is.
then again, you got to think Colin isn't self-centered either, because he's actually on his way to rescue his friends.
Yes, exactly. Right. He turns up at the right moment, all the time. Whenever we think they're in peril, you know, he's always there.
Yeah.
He's a reliable energy vampire. Yeah.
But he could easily just be like, nah, see us.
He could. That's what I'm hoping we're going to get a little bit of a backstory as to why. I think that's what's missing here with Colin is.
I think it's deliberate.
But why?
Because they're saving it. I think that's what this show's doing. It's not giving you everything at once. It's drip feeding you and dragging you along.
Yeah.
And I think they're saving that storyline. I could be wrong, but I think they're saving that storyline for a later point.
I hope they are, because I'd really like to know, because we know a lot about Narja and Blim and Laszlo. We know so much about them, it's too much information. But we don't know much about Colin, so I hope they are saving that for a longer, you know, in the future, because he's pretty cool.
Yeah, so he just turns up with a huge umbrella, and then they're like, "You're feeding us, aren't you?" Yeah, well, I can just go. Oh no, it's fine. You know, just like they're back to that. They both know what they're getting off each other, and there's a playfulness about it. And
yeah, no, it's brilliant.
And then they turn into bats, and he's just poking the box the whole way.
No, he's a dick, hey?
Absolutely, and he loves it. He just
he can be a bit of a meanie. He's really yeah.
That's what I'm saying about his hope facade. It's a persona. It's a facade. It's a camouflage. And I'd love to see Colin turn up as as himself.
Yeah,
because this is just what he does to feed. But I'd love to see an episode where he turns up, in the 3-piece suit and looking amazing and like just owning the place. I think that's something they're saving for a later time because
there's something going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, there's something going on. Definitely, I can feel it.
Yep. Then we get this episode, Citizenship. I think that's my least favorite one out of the whole lot.
It was did drag on a bit. I think what they did is they'd probably put too much money into the trial one, and as a consequence of that, this one was a tad bit boring.
They needed a cheap episode, I think. I think if they had to put this in between that and the trial, like maybe if they put a couple of episodes in between, but I think that might have been the studio. The studio are notorious for they want the big impact, and I think maybe the studios rearrange the episodes so that it falls straight off the order. But I think the trial could have easily been 3 or 4 episodes down the line.
Yeah, quite easily. Yeah, I was actually surprised that they carried it straight on. I wasn't expecting them to do that. I was expecting them to, so I think you're right. If they had slotted this one in between the trial and the murder, it would have worked out a lot better. Yeah, because it's like they spent all that money on those 2 episodes and then they came.
And then there's a build up, and then you come to this one, you're like, oh, what is that it?
Yes, I know, because I didn't really want to know about that girl. But oh well.
Yeah, she reminds me of what's her face out of the film? The familiar,
Yes, the is
forget her
that?
name.
Oh God,
She's the
yeah, I can't.
familiar anyway, you know.
Very much like her, very much the same. Yeah,
But yeah,
when she
we're
brought her.
back with Jenna.
Yes.
We're seeing her like sitting in class and getting burnt by the sun and stuff, and
Yeah, I have to say, those little bits were actually quite funny. When she didn't realise that out of the whole thing, I think out of that series, out of this episode, it was the little things that was happening to Gemma.
Jenna, yeah.
Yeah, I think those little weeny things were quite cool, but all in all, a little bit boring. But yeah, so Geronimo, poor dude, he's sitting there thinking, why the hell was she a vampire and I'm still not a vampire? So it's a bit sad.
Yeah, and Nandor's stories are just getting more ridiculous.
Aren't they just?
And you're just, remember I called this about it. I think he's waffling. You know, I think a lot of those portraits of him, if you looked around the back, you'd find they were done in the 1900s. You know, like within the last 20 years, they're not authentic. He's the ruler of a country that conveniently doesn't exist anymore, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, he just reminds me of a Walter Mitty type character.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you know, he's got a good backstory. He's got a lot going on.
A bit too good for him to be the way he is now, if that makes sense.
Yeah, he's just a little bit not very onto it, is he? He seems to be. Oh, okay. I think what it is he's he's not a very intelligent vampire, but he's very scary. He's a very terrifying, dangerous vampire, but he's got not much going on up here, I don't think. You can tell that by.
Yeah. But for him to be the military commander, he was the ruler of the country, the scourge of the empire, you know.
Yeah.
You start to think, hold on, is he making these up? And then I start thinking, is the reason he's not turning Guillermo is because if he turns Guillermo, he loses Guillermo, and
he does.
He's not as good. You know, this whole facade he's built up isn't true. It's a bit of a facade, and I think his friends know it as well, and they play along with him to humor him. You know, you've got that one person to make up all the stories that they've done this, they've done that.
Oh, yes.
And you sort of indulge him a bit.
Yep.
Until they go too far.
Yeah. And then you go visit them at the psych ward because they're absolutely crazy and delusional.
Yeah, but it's a massive sign of lack of self-confidence, you know.
Absolutely, yeah.
And they're usually the talker in the room. They have to have the circle around them and be leading the stories, and they can't step aside and let someone else talk. That's what I'm thinking Nandor's character is. And he's deliberately not turning that. He knows, he's pretending he's unaware of Guillermo, but he's not doing it because he doesn't want to lose him. I mean, maybe it's me overthinking, but
no, definitely, because he's been with him for 10 years. You know, he's been doing his deeds, but it's like, when's he going to get to the point where he's like, I have to do something now, otherwise I'm going to lose him completely, you know? So, oh, well, we know something's going to happen anyway.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Cameron.
Yeah, thanks, Cameron.
And then, what was it? Nando's talking about the first time he wanted to go for American citizenship was because of basketball. 1992.
Why?
I don't know. You'd have to follow basketball, I suppose, to get the joke in that one. That was a bit overtly American for my liking.
Yeah, no. Is that the NBA or something? Is that national
basketball? Something. I don't know. Basketball is a pointless sport. I fucking watch that stuff for. Ba-doing.
Yeah, I know, but lots of people make lots of money.
Yeah, well, fair play to them, do it to do it. But I just,
What else would you be if you're 7'6"?
true enough. But the fact that it was he forgot about it because the Macarena came on board, that's kind of like that pretty much describes American sports in general. I just find them too slow. But I grew up playing rugby, so you don't go back from that. And I was explaining when we're doing the Final Destination reviews and we're talking about like NASCAR and stuff. I'm like, I grew up with the Ulster Rally and the Isle of Man TT and the Ulster GP, proper races along country roads in the wet where people are like hair's breadth from stone walls. And
oh God.
what the hell do you want to watch somebody going, nyam, nyam, and
and this is around the same circuit.
Yeah. I just don't get American sports. They're boring, and the fact that they take like 50 gazillion breaks instead of hard play for 80 or 90 minutes. Like these things go on for hours.
Yeah.
The 10-minute show, the 20-minute show, the halftime show, the quarter time show, and a whole concert comes on just to distract you from having to watch the sport because they're when you have to get dancers and to distract you from watching the sport, it's not right.
Yeah, pay Taylor Swift to come in to do the national anthem and all that blah blah blah. Yeah, no.
Just so you don't have to actually watch the sport because the sport itself takes 15 minutes because they have to take a break every 2 because they get tired.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah.
No interest.
We have the best rugby team in the whole entire planet, so that's
You also have the scariest sports person in the whole world. R.I.P. Luma. I said you also had this most frightening sports person in the world.
Which one's that?
Jonah Luma.
Who's that? Oh, Jonah Lomu.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Jonah.
Like we got terrified. We were in this stands and you watch him, you got terrified. You're like, he might tackle me. He might actually just not be able to stop and come tackle me. And I'm like 3 seats up. Oh shit,
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and when you get frightened of someone from a TV screen, even if you're watching on TV, you're like, he could come through and get me. No, he was a scary dude.
He was, yes.
Apparently he was an absolutely lovely person. Anyone met him in person, just, say he's an absolute gentleman.
Yeah.
Such a shame. Yeah. And he was only at flipping 30% capacity because of his kidney problems.
I know.
That was him at 30% capacity.
I know. Just imagine him at 100.
Oh, yeah.
God.
No.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Never forget.
Americans don't even know what rugby is.
Oh, God,
they're like, rugby? What's that?
Watch any tributes to Jonah Luma, honestly. Oh, my God. He was loved. Like, loved the world over.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Nobody ever, like, even if you're opposite him, you're like, oh, God, he's playing. Oh, God, why couldn't he have been sick?
Exactly.
That's what you just thought. Oh, God, he's playing today. We're stuffed.
We're fucked. We're going to lose. We must not even go out and play.
Best one was the Welsh captain at the time. What was it? His first World Cup. Jan Evans. And he went to try and take him full on. And just bowled over. Like, it was like, and he's a bit, you'd think everyone else was like super, like, rugby players are big dude, like massive. I don't know how I managed to play for as long as I did because everyone was head and shoulders above me, but I just had pluckiness, I suppose. But professional, you could tell I was only amateur leagues, but if you ever met a professional league, you're sort of looking up going,
oh. Yeah. Oh God.
But yeah. Jono just smashed in the air. I think it's the most iconic sort of play of him just bowling him over.
Yeah.
Like it was nothing.
Oh, brilliant. Oh
dear. But Nadja makes like a cracking joke in this.
She's so ultra cool. If I could be anyone, I'd be her. She's so cool and funny and adorable and beautiful and
I could be a man. Ouch, touch my balls. I drink beer. Just
she's so cool. Oh, hilarious. I like that.
But I thought with creating vampires, I thought there were like strict protocols and taboos and no-nos, and that was kind of the whole point of vampires being like in clans and councils and stuff, that they didn't just
Yeah.
go rampant and turn everybody, because they know that their biggest week is being daylight. They have to retire during the day, and that's when the humans will come and get them. Then there's kind of unwritten rule that vampires don't cross the line, because they're 100% vulnerable during the day, and if all like an army with a few tanks, doesn't matter how great a fortification to build, tanks or aircraft just level the place, big them up, they're done.
Yep.
If it came to that level of, conflict.
Yep.
But I think that is this part of the joke as well, on Guillermo, that Nadja just made a vampire. She felt like it.
Yeah.
And then forgot about her, and then came back to her to go, oh, right, I suppose I better teach you how to be a vampire.
He was pissed, man. Did you see his face? It was like, oh God, I seriously, if Cameron hadn't ruined it, I thought there's just that possibility he is going to get Nando, but he might still get him. He might. We don't know.
I do remember, like I said, I have seen a first couple of seasons of this on and off. I do know a certain storyline.
Yeah.
Which I'll not go into, I'll wait for it. But yeah, it's just good. And then he's sniping and she's like, I can hear you,
Yeah, exactly. But that was really, really, I think that was well done at the party scene. When she realizes what her special talent is. That's just like, yeah, no one can see me, and literally no one can see you, dude. Like, yes, you're invisible. That's your special power. That was pretty cool. That's a cool special power. That's what I want. I want to be invisible.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Just be, see ya, gone.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, but she played a cool role, actually, that Jenna. But yeah. But out of all of the ones so far, this is the one that didn't make me laugh so hard.
No,
and it was just a bit of a anticlimax. Yeah,
but I think that's the problem, because we had those two episodes back to back, and then this one.
Yeah,
it's a scheduling thing. I don't know why to get it wrong. Like, these people are supposed to be professionals, and they're paid a lot of money. And the basics of pacing they get wrong. They shoot their load into one or two big episodes, then don't care and mess it all up.
Yeah, I hope that's not what is happening. But yeah, no, so there's still there's some really good things about this one. About this,
it was more the party scene. The USCIS scene, going to immigration was a bit crap.
Yes. Yeah.
That was that was overdone. That should have just been like a short thing.
It did actually take away from the episode. It was actually because we were engaged with Nadja, and then all of a sudden we're going and doing this immigration thing that didn't seem like, well, what was the point?
Yeah.
And it's because he lost his country hundreds of years ago or whatever, and he doesn't feel, I guess he feels displaced. But how can he feel displaced when he's been living
in a place for hundreds of years? And it just felt off.
Yeah,
but
it's like someone else wrote it. It's like a completely different person wrote this one.
I think it's for America. Americans need that. Americans need to think all immigrants want to be citizens. Like, it's part of their psychology. And if you don't, you're like, they can't deal with you. Like, nah, I'm good, thanks. What do you mean you don't want to come here and be a citizen? Nah, no more. They can't get that around their heads. They're strange people. I think this one was just purely written. Maybe Americans are loving it. It's purely written for them. Where every episode so far has been like an international audience, for international appeal.
Yes, absolutely.
Where the whole American immigration thing, I think that's just purely for Americans to go, ha, he wants to become a, which fair enough, whatever.
Yeah, even a vampire was to become a US citizen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was too long, and it took away
Yeah.
from the actual better story, which was Nadja and Jenna.
Yeah, absolutely. And
And Guillermo dealing with
how the hell do you pronounce that name?
Guillermo. It's Spanish.
Guillermo.
It's Latin American. Yeah, so the L's are R's.
Okay, Guillermo. All right.
They're not pronounced. It's you don't pronounce the L's. They're
Guillermo. Yeah, all right.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
No worries. Took me a while as well. Like paella. It took me a while to get paella. Paella. I can't even get it right because the L's make me think.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
There's other things as well. It's yeah, the whole scene in the party and the big dopey dude.
Oh God.
But when Jenna starts to drag him to have her first feeding, that's what she needs to pretty transfer, have her first feeding. That scene with him getting dragged is brilliantly done.
It is. It was amazing. How did they do it?
There's obviously it's obviously green suits or green screen involved, but I mean the editing's so good.
It's so seamless. It's just there's nothing you can say, oh, they did this with that one. No, it's just like, oh no, they could have done. Yeah, it worked really well. I thought that was great. Brilliant. Yeah. Cool character.
Yeah, the Nandor storyline, he doesn't get his immigration thing because civil servants are soulless, he can't work his powers, blah blah blah.
Yes!
But then it carries. There's no payoff or anything. It was just a thing.
It was just yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Nothing changes.
Yeah. No, right? It was just I don't know. Maybe further down the track it may have some significance.
I don't think so. I think it was just thrown. It just felt shoehorned in for
no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even Jenna, they're making fun out of Blade. They're taking that scene. Oh, it's okay. We just wear helmets and
yes, I
it's
know.
fine. And her bat is tragic.
Oh dear. Never mind. That was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Helmets. Well, that was really going to work. Oh my God. That's not what they would. No. Oh yeah. Yeah, they do wear helmets and Blade, don't they?
But I think the whole idea is they're custom made anti-UV. They've shown the fact they're a huge corporation, like stupid amounts of money. They'll have researched these. They'll all be high tech. Stuff.
That's right. They got his mate. That's right. And whereas here they were just using motorcycle helmets. It's like it's not going to work. Yeah. But that was quite a sweet little moment.
Yeah, well, like I said, it was the other storyline ruined this one. This should have been the storyline and the focus of the episode.
Yeah, they could have done a whole episode on it, really. Yeah.
But c'est la vie.
Quite happily.
The good thing about this is you can forgive the odd bad. It's not even terrible. It's just bad bits. So it's still an enjoyable episode, and obviously we'll crack on. And I don't think it's going to drag the whole show down. If that makes sense.
No, God, no. It still had some really good, like the party scene, and then discovering what her superpower is. I thought that those are really well done, and seeing Naja actually look like she gives a shit about somebody besides herself was actually quite cool. To see her character development. Yeah,
that's it, and it's like I said, still invested in the show, so that's the main thing.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, that didn't put me off. I want more. And we're still only on season 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gosh. Wow. They did a lot.
Mm-hmm. But like I said, I'm enjoying it so far, and it's for. I think there's a reason why this has got 6 seasons. Let's be honest, because obviously they've cracked on, so it'll be cool to see how it turns out. But I had fun as always. This is great. We're going to do a movie next. We'll need to decide what that is after the stream finishes.
Yeah.
Because I just realized.
Oh yeah.
I know we've got a few on the list. We'll have a look. But
Yep. Cool. Looking forward to it.
Always be fun. But Dale, as always, pleasure to have you and great to talk about these things because
Yes, thanks for having me.
look at
I
all this.
love these.
And how far your movie come along?
We've just about cast everybody except for one, and I think we've got everyone on board, just looking for a little bit more extra funding. So yeah, other than that, it's good to go. So yeah, doing the crowdfunding thing, and so that's all over my Horror Central page and my I've actually today I've got a video coming out that I did about crowdfunding, so that's going to be out. Oh, that dropped 42 minutes ago. So
Cool.
yeah,
Check that out. I'll stick up in the newsletter this week as well. Let people have a
cool.
check out.
Yeah,
But
so filming's
yeah,
going to go
we've
ahead
talked about crowdfunding.
October. Yeah. Yep.
When I've had ActorStar and stuff on, we've talked about crowdfunding and once again the perception behind it and why it's a good thing, and also why you don't want a studio to fund you.
Yes.
Because the minute a studio funds you, they take over.
Yes.
And anyone that's been with this channel for a while, we have talked loads where studios have completely screwed up projects.
Oh God, yeah. Hollywood is not the dream anymore.
No,
you know,
not.
And it's going to take a lot of reworking in people's minds, to come around to the fact that, there is independent filmmakers out there and independent writers and reviewers and all that sort of stuff. And, we don't get the big budgets with our films. We have to do the crowdfunding avenue or,
have to market it, have to talk about it, have to get people on board. You have to basically be part of the set.
You basically have to do all the legwork yourself, whereas but the good thing about that is budgets are smaller than, say, the American budgets. They throw $500 million at you, and then they own you. They own you. They get their claws in you. But when you're an independent filmmaker or whatever, especially an independent filmmaker, you can just basically do what you want. It's the distribution of it that's the problem, I suppose.
But there's more and more ways coming around, because obviously there's people are twigging on, and it's slowly the industry's changing. I just had an update from ActorStar, and they signed up with someone who's a new distributor, and they're getting their stuff out internationally now. Where that's a problem. I think 7th Street as well got a new distributor, so they're getting their stuff out there.
That's excellent. Whoa,
so there are, I mean, I want things to move away from Hollywood. I want decentralization. I want smaller entities out there. Yeah. Because then we get more variety and more competition and more creativity, rather than the corporate sludge we've been served for the last 20 years, which has been ridiculous.
Yeah.
But obviously, we can only do it one step at a time.
Yeah. But I guess that's what production companies have to put faith in the independent film sphere. You know what I mean? They've got to, people are committed and they're dedicated and they're doing everything they can to get their movies out there and all that sort of stuff. And people just give them a break and actually look at it. And I mean, because there are some crap ones out there.
Without a doubt, we've covered them.
Yep. There's some really golden gems as well. So it's like, you just got to watch them and see what happens.
God, I covered one last week called Rejected. It's only a 15-minute short, and it's hilarious.
Yes.
I did a review of that there. I got a screener. It's going round to film festivals next week, I think.
Yes.
And got a screener of that. And that's right, you've reviewed it as well, haven't
you? Yes.
That was so much fun.
You gave it to me, wasn't it, Just?
Oh God, that's right. I forgot about that. God.
Yeah, I'm sitting here going, you gave that to me.
Well, I got Renee to give me your details.
Yes. Well, funnily enough, I thought Renee was a female, and Renee thought I was a male because of our names. So he's calling me dude and man. and the emails, and I'm like wondering what's going on here. And then he comes back with, "Oops, I've just seen your YouTube channel and you're a female. I'm so sorry." And I'm like, "I'm so sorry too. I just saw your face on International Movie Database, and you're a man. Sorry, I thought you were a chick." Anyway, after this, I'm going to do a quick review of it. I've rejected. It's a good one, isn't it?
It is.
It's different.
And that's
worth
what I mean.
watching.
It's possible with independent stuff to have absolutely crackers, and good to see practical effects.
Yeah. Hey, are we still recording?
Yeah, still streaming.
Oh, sweet. Oh, cool. Yeah, no. I'm going to do a quick review after this, and so because I quite enjoyed that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Right. Well, Dale, until next time, and thanks for everyone for tuning in, take part in the chat. And just even say, until next time, keep updated with the channel, do the type of things, and remember to keep it creepy, keep it horrific.